the roast master. And then John Mayer came on set with him, and then
What?
yeah, John Mayer did a whole set with guitar, like acoustic guitar, electric guitar, came on, did his Netflix hour, like he was recording for Netflix. The Netflix thing came out, and then after that, him and John Mayer came on stage together and did like a musical comedy, like improv. It was
Hello,
like
world.
wild. And then he did a full like rap, like a tribute to hip hop because he was turning 50 and hip hop was turning 50, and it was New York City. He did this whole thing, and then like Common, Ti, Rhymes. They were like, did like all three of them came out and did full sets. And then Mike Tyson was in the audience and they pulled him onto stage.
Excuse me?
It was just wild. It
That's
was, I
crazy.
mean, it was almost 5 hours long.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That
With
sounds
one
awesome.
intermission. Yeah. Yep. It was epic. So, but yeah, having a great summer and just generally doing really well. And seeing John Legend this Sunday. Yeah, I don't know. Like just it's been a magical summer full of like art and music and performances and just like really happy.
Nice.
All right, we're good.
Okay.
We're so good. We're so live.
So live.
We're so happy to be here. We're excited.
Is the link that you put
excited.
on Twitter gonna still work for people?
It'll work now because it's a redirect, and I got it
Okay.
redirected to the right place. Boom.
Look at you.
Amazing.
Alright.
I know, right?
So good.
Forward looking.
So good.
Okay. Any questions? Any concerns about anything? Okay. Then let's just do this. Everyone's recording. Am I recording? Let me just check. Yes, I am. I'm 8 minutes into recording, which is too long. Can you guys hear?
No.
His beloved TypeScript.
Yes.
Yes. Oh,
Am
I
still
love that.
Quiet, Nick?
I'm gonna do that for soundcheck next time because when I recorded with what's his face, yeah, we like did a start stop because I forgot to go live or something. I forgot to do that switch over.
The worst.
And the
Yeah,
worst
yeah.
UX ever. We need to email Riverside
Yes.
like with a video saying
Nobody
this
wants
is
to preview ever.
so
Just
bad.
leave it.
Just
Yeah. Like,
nobody.
Who cares?
Yeah, or have it be the inverse, right? Default to on.
Right.
Simple.
There's a couple of videos out on YouTube of me just jamming to it alone,
Oh, yeah.
so no one else can hear.
Oh, that was on YouTube too. No, and then I said, you know what, we're gonna fix this, and I fixed it, and then we just did it again. So on YouTube, like we did 2 intros, and I don't care, you know.
We should get together a supercut of us just dancing to nothing on YouTube. You know,
Seriously.
like the embarrassing moment. Because I've done it as well.
Yeah, you've done it as well. I've done
I've
it
done
like
it
at
too.
least twice. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just part
Yeah.
of the process here. So.
Yeah,
But
I
you guys
think,
can
well, I
do-
think it was maybe with Rich Harris. One, the other, I don't even. It was really embarrassing the first time. That's all I remember. But anyways,
But then you get more and more used to it.
yeah, no, absolutely. Just like making mistakes on a pod. I like mess up words all the time in podcasts, and I don't care anymore. Like, just
There you
roll
go.
with the punches.
Yep. All right.
Always.
Intro song. Hello. It's your internet friends. I'm Jared, and I am joined today by Nick Nisi. What's up, Nick?
Hoi hoi. How's it going?
It's going great. We also have Amel here with us today. What's up, Amel?
Hey, happy to be here.
And like a phoenix rising from the ashes, it's Bone Skull's grand return to the pod. Welcome back, Chris.
Sound effects.
Hi, everybody. I'm
you
glad
excited
to
to be
have
here
me
today?
here. Yes,
Pew 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 pew.
glad to have me here.
Well, we are also glad to have you here. We're glad to have all of us here today for a fun segments episode. It's been a minute since we've been able to just hang out, talk, play games, and be ridiculous. And so that's what we're going to do today. We're going to start off with things in the news, most of which are about Astro. So Astro making news this week on 2 fronts, the more exciting one and then the more insider one. We'll start with the excitement because that's
Boring business one.
Yeah. We'll see if we even want to talk about that one. But Astro 3.0 dropped. What date was this? August 30th. Yesterday as we record. A week ago as you listen. And it's the first major web framework to support the Vue Transitions API. This seems like a pretty cool deal, right? Vue Transitions? What do y'all think?
It's huge. It's huge
What
because
is that?
All right.
Well,
Chris wants to know.
so it's an
go.
API that it's an API that basically allows you to like add hooks so that when your page loads or when you're changing your page, like you can gracefully exit out, right? So like a native mobile application, that like ease when you're like Tinder, ladies and gentlemen, swipe right, swipe left, that ease, that grace in and out, right? So you can basically hook into that event so that you can insert this graceful animation. And so now for a long time, developers were kind of monkey patching this kind of experience into their applications, and the good folks at I don't even know the W3C. Yeah, it's not Whatwig.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess there is probably some Whatwig collaboration if I had to guess, but they have now put this into the browser. So it's called a Vue Transitions API. We'll put the MDN link in the show notes, and it's only available right now on Chromium browsers. So Safari and Firefox don't have this yet. It's still an experimental API, but very exciting, like to see it like go through the standards process and hopefully get adopted across the board.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
this
and the
is
cool
one
thing about it is that it really, like I think that what's happening with it is that it like snapshots the current view and then lets you manipulate that while it changes to a new view so that you can have some kind of star wipe or whatever you want.
Yeah,
I don't know if
and
you
the
can
really
do a star wipe, but I want to do a star wipe.
I don't
yeah.
even know what a star wipe is, but I want one.
Well, yeah. I think for a long time you could on like server rendered apps, like if you're like loading your pages from the server, but now
Right.
because this is built into the browser, you can, and like Astro is able to leverage that. So this will works for single page apps as well as like multi-page apps, which is very exciting.
Yes, this was one of the common reasons why you would require a single page app, was to have this kind of transition between views that you can manipulate to look cool and seamless and fast and smooth and all these things, star wipes and whatnot.
Tinder swipes.
No longer
just have to
needed. No
explain
longer needed, right? Yeah, please do, because I don't even know what it is still. I just like
I mean,
saying it.
it's like it flashes to a star or it like zooms into a star, which is the new view, but it has like a star outline.
Oh,
The
lucky
reference, as with every reference that I have, is an old Simpsons one where Homer and Lisa are making a dating video for Ned Flanders, and Homer just keeps asking Lisa to add star wipes, and she is like, "Okay, I'm taking my name off of this."
So nicknisi.org is going to be just covered in star wipes here soon.
It's funny.
The nice thing about an API like this is it's just additive, right? Like if your browser doesn't support Vue transitions, well then you just do the traditional switch the page, UI. So
One might even call
even
that
if
a
it's not
progressive
broadly
a progressive
like a
app.
progressive enhancement. Yeah. So if you don't have it, doesn't matter. As a developer, you can put this into your websites today, and as people's browsers upgrade, they will get the star wipe. Chrome supports it, Edge, Opera, Chrome for Android, and Arc browser, which is not listed on the
And
Can I Use
Samsung Internet
.com
browser
website.
too. So if you have a lot of
Okay.
customers in Germany, I think like it's almost like 70% of Germans use Samsung Internet browser. So you'll have
There
some
you go.
happy customers.
So that's what Vue Transitions API is. Chris, are you for or against? What do you think?
I don't have an opinion, but that sounds cool, or sorry that happened.
Okay. He's going to stay on the fence. Well, the thing that we're talking about today is not necessarily the API's existence. It's Astro's 3.0 has now built in use of this API, right into it. So as browsers add support, if you're using Astro and you're upgraded, I don't know if you have to like recode gen with Astro or if you just upgrade and use. then you just magically get this out of the box, and I'm sure there's nice ergonomics and all that so that you can have it. Of course, everybody can use it by hand if they want to, right? It's a podcast, folks. Head nods
Yeah.
do not go over. So
Oh,
there
yeah.
you go.
Sorry, yeah.
Nick and Amel nodding furiously. What else in Astro 3.0? 30% faster, something like this.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else check out the blog post?
Yeah,
30
yeah.
to 75% faster rendering performance.
Yeah, that's huge.
So
It seems like they started a refactoring effort that they continued. Like they started a refactoring effort in 2.1, and they continued that into the 3.0 release. And so it's
Yeah.
very cool to see that.
So is this a framework y'all use?
I do.
Yeah. What do you use it for?
I'm
nicknisi.com.
Okay.
Oh, it's
very
.com,
very
sorry.
popular.
I
Okay.
said .org.
yeah.
You got a
I'm
redirect set up?
Not yet.
yeah.
What's-
I have nisi.org. That
Oh,
redirects.
that's right. Nick at nisi.org. Gosh. Oh, doxed you. Go ahead, Amel.
Yeah, no, I have a really embarrassing ancient old website that's like, I don't know, like 10 years old, and I am rebuilding my personal website with Astro. And I was gonna go the purest route. I was gonna just for the like shits and giggles just like use no framework for this. But now I feel so compelled like to do this in Astro. I'm like, I'm so picky about like what I have very limited free time, and so I can't like play around with every single new technology, and so I'm very picky about what I will invest time in. And Astro has really like, it's just it's met the bar and then some. So very
Yeah, I
excited.
switched to it in Astro 2, and the reason I did was I liked some of the things that it was doing, but like I got baited and switched on it a little bit because I was like, oh, I'm a React developer. I like building components like that. I can just use React because that's like the big appeal of this. You could use React, Vue, Svelte components and
Right.
intermingle them all together.
Right.
And then I started rebuilding my site in it, and I was like, oh wait, this doesn't need to be a React component. It could just be an Astro component.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden everything is an Astro component, and I have no React in there, which is awesome. But yeah,
It's like
it's
you
a really
baited
cool.
and switched yourself on that one. Nick. He's like, I'm going to switch these to Astro and get angry about it. That does sound cool. I'm not using it. Well, I have like plans for new websites, and one of my favorite things in life is to not start those things, but to just sit around and wait. And every time a new framework upgrades, be like, oh, this is the one I'm going to use. And so right now, I'm totally going to use Astro 3.0 when
Yeah.
I start this new static website. But
Totally.
by the time I actually start it, it could be a completely different
Astro
framework. Who
10.0.
knows?
Yeah. The SSR enhancements are also very exciting. I thought this was like really cool because it gets into it kind of also touches performance improvements as well. So they've added support for per route code splitting, which for a multi-page app is like huge and very exciting. So you're getting to kind of dynamically send stuff up, and kind of improve your performance as a result of that. Like that's huge. Less bytes over the wire, all good stuff. And then they have edge middleware. So you can now bundle your middleware for deployment on the edge, which I think is interesting. I'd love to I don't know if you all have examples of when or why people would be doing that kind of stuff. I personally don't, so I'm eager to hear any thoughts that you have on that. And lastly, they have support for host customization, which I thought was also very, very exciting because it's kind of like similar to kind of the per route code splitting, right? Like you're able to kind of send a dynamic like bundle up based on if you're using an AWS, like depending on like where you're rendering and what your rendering like platform is, and as well as like your compute engine. So it's very very cool.
I think the benefit of Edge middleware would be like dynamically generating content that is as close to your user as possible. So on the edge and just much faster speeds when doing that.
That makes sense.
Another tidbit that is totally not useful in any way, but I thought was kind of cool. And shout out to Chantastic for pointing it out on Twitter and me seeing that, I guess. They changed the default port for the Astro dev server to 4321. which is like a countdown to liftoff to continue the theme.
That is huge. That's the biggest innovation
Absolutely.
since the 1, 2, 3, 4 count up, which was also innovative, but nowhere near as exciting.
Totally.
Speaking of nowhere near as exciting, there was also some back-end kind of business announcements coming out of Astro and Versel just a few days prior to the 3.0 launch. This is a official hosting partner. So Versel now is going to be supporting Astro development to the tune of $5,000 each month towards the ongoing maintenance and development. And in turn, Astro will be, I guess, just saying use Versel with us, or I don't know exactly what Astro is going to be doing on their side of this deal, but they've named Versel as an official hosting partner. Chris, hot takes on this partnership between an open source project and a hosting provider.
Look, I don't know if anybody heard about Gatsby. Have we heard about Gatsby? You know, they got
Yes.
Tell us.
bought by Netlify, right?
Right.
And apparently they've laid everybody off and shut down the project. So I'm looking at this and I'm like, what's preventing that from happening with this thing? Like, is Netlify going to go buy it and shut it down? Is Cloudflare going to do the same thing?
Well, it's a partnership, not ownership in this case.
No, it
Chris.
doesn't have anything to do with that.
Yeah.
That's great that they're getting money from Versel. Like, maybe that is going to pay, people who don't work at this Astro company for their contributions to Astro, and I think that's great. I'm glad that those people are getting paid because otherwise they're being exploited. So, like, what's to stop another Gatsby from happening here? And it confounds me, like, why people like go and they want to pick up these frameworks like this, which is, I don't know if this is a VC funded company or not, but like it's you need to be a lot more careful, like, about these technology choices. Like, it's one thing to buy like a SaaS service or something, but it's another thing to build your whole like website and your whole like product based on a framework that was built by a VC backed Silicon Valley company. Like, that's scary to me. But I don't know. That's my hot take. You wanted a hot take. There it is.
Hey, man.
That's a
I
hot
appreciate
take.
it.
Yeah.
That's why I went to you for the hot take, because I had a feeling that your stance would be in that particular corner. Amel, what do you think?
I mean, I think it's very strategic on the part of Astro and Versel. I mean, React is not the fastest game in town anymore, and I think Versel really prides itself on being best in class of everything, and so it's kind of silly for them to be like not supporting what I think is like a best in class developer framework at this point. And so it's in that sense, it's like somebody who's like a 10 is marrying somebody who's also a 10, right? It's like two hot people, right? So I've called Versel like the hottie in town like a long time ago. I don't remember, at some point, some show. Maybe we can like insert that. But I was talking to Rich Harris, and like when Rich Harris, like when the Svelte and Versel partnership became a thing, I was like, yeah, it's like, you know, that's what it felt like. And so I think it's strategic on both of their parts. I think it's going to be a symbiotic thing. I think Versel has reach and distribution, and Astro is a good product. So with reach and distribution is hopefully a good thing. It seems like there's it's more like a business partnership from a marketing and advertising sense, but there's also like the financial aspect is that I think Versel is going to contribute $5,000 a month towards Astro development, which is great. So that's the financial aspect to that relationship.
Yeah, we talk a lot about open source funding. Like we talked about like Dino's experiment with Dino KV a few weeks ago. There's what happened to Gatsby. You know, all of these open source projects, they need funding, and this seems like one of the better ways to do that because, as far as I understand, it's just a partnership and not like a an ownership type thing. It makes me feel better as a user of
For sure.
Astro that
Same.
it's probably still gonna. I don't host my stuff on Versel, and like
Same.
everything with Versel kind of worries me that it's gonna be easier. It's just gonna be easier. Not that you can't host it elsewhere, but the happy path is always gonna be Versel, and this makes me feel like the happy path will be generally the internet, hopefully. But
Yeah.
yeah,
In my experience and in recent history, these relationships have been fickle and short-lived.
yep,
I mean, we celebrated when Zach Leatherman was able to go full-time on 11D because of Netlify. That relationship has ended. He has now moved on. The project remains its own standalone project, which is great. But if we look at the kind of stuff that was being added to 11D during that time period, a lot of what I've read from Zach is that his work going forward is going to be kind of slimming down and reducing 11D's footprint or feature print, because there was stuff going in that was, it makes sense. It was like Netlify integrations and stuff. And so that was short-lived. Chris, you mentioned the Gatsby one. If I was Fred and the Astro team right now, I'd be like, awesome. We got more money to work with every month. I wouldn't plan on that money being there every month, for ongoing beyond, I guess, even whatever the terms of this partnership is. Because once you start relying upon that, and like maybe he goes out and hires some people using that money, and then that money disappears, and now what do we do? So it's a nice shot in the arm from their perspective, but not one that I would count on if I was in that position. So
Yeah. No, that's well said. I mean, like in all fairness, like I think that's just you're just describing the volatility and the shifting nature of like the web and companies building for the web and teams supporting that experience. So yeah, you can't even within a stable company you can't like reliably say what you're going to be doing in 6 months. So
And it's $5,000 a month, like it's just $5,000 a month.
right.
Just, right. Think about that. Like that pays for the blog post, right? That announces it. So
Right.
I don't know. It's not
you're
like they
saying
can go.
that's an insignificant amount?
Yeah, they can't go hire anybody with that, right? I mean,
You could hire somebody at $5,000 a month, couldn't you?
I mean, maybe not somebody full time in the U.S. I don't think, but
No, well, the Earth is flat, so I mean, surely there's talent all
yeah,
over the world.
absolutely, yeah.
And you could do a
Absolutely.
part-time hire. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't think $5,000 a month as an open source project is something to balk at
Yeah,
myself.
you're right. I think you're right. I would agree.
But it's also not something to rely upon. So interesting. I think the key for us as just open source users and community members of the web is we should select tools that we think will continue to exist and improve over time. And so when we see something like this, you wonder, like Gatsby, is Gatsby just done then? Or what happened to, I don't know the whole story on Gatsby today. Like, is the project just over with? Was it picked up by community members? Does anybody know?
there was a release last week, and
Okay.
the
so it's
last
still
commit was
moving
4
forward
hours
in
ago
some-
by Renovate.
So it's still moving forward in some capacity. By Renovate.
Was
Oh,
the
God.
last release just Renovate commits?
Does
Like,
Renovate do releases? Yeah.
yeah, I was gonna just say that sounds like an automated release process. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. It's I have heard through Twitter that like everybody got laid off who was working on that project. So who's working on the project? And I don't think there's been
That
any
makes
like
me so
official
sad.
communication about it.
Oh,
They
really?
had
Yeah, that is
really
sad.
good. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I mean,
Well, I
yeah.
do wonder, because everybody laid off that was working on that project. Did everybody come to that project because of that job, or were there people that were working on it anyways, or on the side, or as a typical open source project? And do they continue to be like, well, I'm going to keep working on this, or who does the IP? I don't know. I don't know the situation, so maybe I'm talking out of ignorance here. But does the IP belong to Netlify now?
I don't know about the licensing situation in Gatsby, but
Yeah.
assuming there's like a CLA, then yeah, probably they own the IP. notify would.
Yeah.
But if there isn't, then yeah.
Yeah, well, I think in that case, it's safe to say what Amel said at the beginning, that a partnership structured as this one seems to be is a much more stable ground for an open source project than a ownership stake.
For
So,
for sure, yeah. I wanted to say I've heard really great things about Gatsby's internal culture, because like they were also one of the first companies to like start paying people to interview. They'd give you like a take-home project and they like cut you a check for it. Like, I don't know. I've heard just tons of really great things, so it makes me sad that their folks are laid off, and I hope everybody's landed somewhere good. And just thank you for elevating culture in tech. So.
yeah. Well, speaking of landing somewhere good, it turns out that Python has landed in Excel. Amel, you wanted to talk about this with
Oh, yeah.
somebody, and we are here to talk about it.
This is tremendously exciting, y'all. Like, think about how much it sucks to write little macros and calculations in Excel, but also just like Excel is just amazing. And honestly, like we could replace the entire world with like an Excel sheets. I think like screw databases, screw web development. Like let's just use Excel, But yeah, I mean, so now you can basically like use Python right within Excel. So you can just like highlight a cell and then convert it into calculate Python, and you can format dates. You can, run little algorithms. Like it's just fantastic. So Excel and Python kind of becoming things that can be used together I think that's like, I don't know. I think backend developers should be worried, that's it's just saying, like, if I could just use Excel and didn't have to build the back end, like, I don't know, it's tempting.
Well, Excel is a backend in many cases. I guess maybe not Excel proper, but Google's version of Excel Sheets, anything that's Airtable. I mean, you can actually go a really long way without foreign keys and linked relational databases and stuff. You can like a lot of times all you need is a single table with some columns and rows and an API in order to put stuff in and get stuff out. Excel itself, are we talking about an online hosted version of Excel? Are we talking about the one that runs on business people's desktops around the world? Because when I think about it like that, I think the software shops in general will be threatened more than merely backend devs, because if you can build your entire system right inside the Excel on your desktop in Python, then who needs custom software, right?
Right.
I guess that is custom software. It's just a different kind of custom software.
That's how I feel. I think this is actually much more monumental than people are like realizing, but
Yeah, I'm looking at it, and it's definitely cool. I think like I am excited to see what kind of insane hacks people build with this.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure it'll help a lot of people do their job, and I don't care about that. I want to see like just insane hacks like built into Excel with Python. And then how long till they add JavaScript is what I want to know.
oh yeah. Well, I mean, why would you need JavaScript though? In the sense that like you just need a scripting language to perform tasks. Oh, JavaScript, because more people know JavaScript than Python. Duh. Oh my God. I cannot believe I just like asked
Wow.
and
You
answered my
almost
own
got
question.
kicked off your pod
I'm
for
just
that. We
believe I
almost
said
kicked
that.
you
Can
off
we
the
just
pod.
can we delete this from the show? Can we cut this? Yes, we're gonna cut this. Editor,
No.
please cut.
Please,
I was like,
please,
like
please.
we have
well,
a new
because
soundboard
I
on it.
love. Listen, I love.
Why would people want JavaScript?
No. I love Python. I think that's what it is, guys. I'm sorry. I hate to say this, but honestly, like the zen of Python is so real. Like it's so real, especially with the pollution of TypeScript. Like JavaScript has become
Yes.
less of a zen
Hey,
programming
preach it.
experience for me.
Preach.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yes.
the zen of Python is real. It's real.
TypeScript pollution.
Yes.
See, Nick, we were just waiting. Nick was going to say, why are they going to put TypeScript
I mean-
in Excel? You know that it's his next line. He's just
TypeScript
been over there
leaves-
waiting for a chance to say it.
I'm
Yeah.
just appalled over here. My mouth is just
Oh my God. No, Listen, when I was first learning TypeScript, a developer that I work with, I was like complaining about something, and I was like, WTF? And he was like, listen, TypeScript leaves nothing to the imagination. And, I have forever kind of thought about it that way. Like, it really leaves nothing to the imagination. And I feel like with Python, I feel like I can go anywhere, do anything. And guess what? There's one way to
code is
do
so
everything
ambiguous.
too.
It's fine.
It's not even that it's being ambiguous. It's just the programming, the language itself is beautiful because there's one way to do there's only one way to do X. Unlike Perl or like other languages, it's just like where there's like 17 ways to do something.
Yeah.
Python is simple in that sense, and so there's a like very little cognitive overhead when you're writing Python. I really
I want to mix
appreciate.
tabs and spaces.
Yeah. See, we can't take Nick's
I'm okay with those
programming
rules.
language seriously because he's been getting into Lua.
Oh my
And
god.
Lua is one indexed arrays, and so can anybody take it
True.
seriously? It's not even
It's
zero
amazing.
indexed.
And
Please
Lua
tell us
would
the
be a
virtues of-
reasonable thing to stuff in Excel too.
Mm-hmm.
Lua, yeah, that's why I brought it up. I was kind of thinking that'd be a good one.
They could change it to A-indexed arrays.
Oh gosh.
Ooh. Or they could
Yeah.
change it to Z indexed. Back to the web.
Yeah.
Z indexing,
Dun,
right?
dun, 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 dun. Anyways, so this Python in Excel is only available in preview right now, and I believe once it's fully rolled out, I think it'll be available on all like Excel on your desktop, Excel in the browser. Like I don't see it being, especially like the built-in functions that like if you're using a built-in function from Python, there's there's so.
Isn't Python one of the languages that OpenAI knows better than most?
Yes.
Hmm.
Is there a correlation there?
Yeah.
My tinfoil hat's on now.
Yeah.
Please.
This is how AGI becomes a thing.
Spell it out to me. Oh, okay.
Once it gets into our
AI 's gonna
spreadsheets,
be
man, it's
up into our
over.
spreadsheets.
It's over.
Game over, man. Game over. That could be a good point.
Is
you
it
know?
is it
Don't-
not in our spreadsheets already? Can you not?
Oh, I'm
use
pretty sure it
something
is.
To make
I'm telling you, I've never worked at a company. I have worked for like unicorns, multi whatever, like Fortune whatever, top like public companies. I have never, in startups, I've never worked at a company where like really important information was not stored in Excel and analyzed in Excel. So,
I mean, I'm
putting
not
it out there.
important, but I haven't had
Oh.
Excel or Microsoft Office installed on my machine in 11 years.
Well,
Man, well, you're a developer, so it's understandable.
yeah, I mean, numbers then, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, but I don't use it.
I have a very important numbers document open right now, which is going to run our business here. It's going to hold the scores
Oh God!
of headlines.
Pew 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 pew.
Now, we don't have a jingle for headlines because I wrote one once and I performed it, and K-Ball laughed so hard at me and not with me that I added it to Dev Null.
I want to see
So-
it. Can you do it?
No, you do not.
seriously? Why not? I won't laugh. I'll mute myself if I laugh. How about that?
I won't perform it live, but maybe I'll insert it right here. No, I decided not to.
Okay.
Let's just play this game. So this headlines game is Chris's favorite game that we play. It's the only one that he likes, and so we're playing it again in his honor. This is a game of BS detection. This is fake news recognition. What does this have to do with JavaScript and the web, you might ask? Well, it's fun, and web development's also fun, and so that's a correlation that we're going to build this headlines on. I have in front of me a handful of headlines gathered from around the web, as well as the first paragraph of each news story. Some of these headlines are 100% true. Others have been fabricated by yours truly. It is your job, should you choose to accept it, to identify what's the headline and what's the headline. I can't even say that with a straight face. It's so good. It's so classic. So inventive. And we will score points for you. See who is the best. I'm running out of words here. So this is how it's going to work. I'm going to say the headline. The three of you will all have a chance to identify true or false. Then I will read the first paragraph of the story, and you'll have a chance to flip-flop your answer to their side. The person who identifies the most correctly wins. If the headline is true, you'll hear. And if the headline is false, you'll hear this sound. Any questions?
Wait, I don't remember if we get more points for guessing before the paragraph.
We've simplified the rules because it's been pretty complicated in the past.
Why?
So
What's
that
so
I-
funny?
Well, I don't know. I mean, what's so funny is I'm just trying to understand if you've removed that, what's the point? Because how do you, like,
That's
so
true.
it did, like, like, it's like, why don't you just give us the hint all the time? Like, there's no consequence for
I'm gonna
knowing
give
the
you the
hint.
hint all the time.
Oh, you
but you're
are?
gonna have to guess them first. You're gonna
Okay.
guess. Then I'm gonna give you the paragraph, and then you're gonna have a chance to flip flop.
I don't
Same
know.
my
points no matter
God.
what.
Okay,
it's
fine.
just a chance. It's just more information.
Okay.
Okay.
I really
should
wish I
discuss
didn't
these.
skip breakfast. I feel
I wish
like
we discussed these
mentally
rules in depth.
underpowered for this. Okay.
Perhaps we should have discussed this in depth before the show.
I just
when
think these
told
are
you guys
still
the rules
complicated.
And asked you if you had any questions. Here
Okay.
we go. The very first headline is FCC. Hold on a second. Does somebody have? there's some
Yeah. Oh,
background
construction. Yeah. This stupid people across the street are working on it.
Okay.
And anyways, I will at myself.
sound. Is your window closed?
Yes.
you
It.
need
Yes.
it
So
now.
sorry. It is closed.
Okay.
The
let it roll.
trucks should be. The
Just
trucks
let it
should be
roll.
leaving in just a second. Yeah. Okay.
Just let it roll. You don't need to mute because
Okay.
when you're talking, it'll screw things up.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
I'll start this part again. The very first headline is the FCC agrees with ISPs, complaining that listing every fee is too hard.
False.
Okay, Chris says
Wow.
false. Nick,
False.
Amel.
Man, this better be false. If not, like, I'm gonna be writing a letter to my congressperson. I really hope that's false.
All right, we have 3 falses. We'll now read the first paragraph of the story. The FCC accepted ISP's request to eliminate an upcoming requirement that they list all their monthly fees, saying, quote, every consumer needs transparent information.
False.
Would
Wait.
anybody like to flip-flop?
Uh.
No way.
Yeah. No, I'm still saying false. Yeah. I mean, I'm guessing
Nick?
this is gonna be true because I mean, it's so obvious. Like, it has to. You know what? I'm gonna flip flop for the game, not because I actually believe it. Somebody has to be the control point. Okay. I'm gonna.
Love of the game.
Yes. I'm gonna.
Amel
I'm gonna go
goes.
through.
So you think this is a true headline? Nick, you think this is
I mean, this
a-
is late stage capitalism after all. So I mean, it could be true.
I want to believe that it's false, so I'm gonna stay with false.
And Chris was just resoundingly on the false side. So, Bone Skull says false, Nick says false, Amel says true. Is it true or false? Checks his notes. That is a head lie.
Oh, thank God.
It's the exact opposite of what actually happened. The FCC rejected the ISP's complaints that listing every fee is too hard. They said, no, you go ahead and list every fee, you ISPs.
Yes.
And so,
Really, that should be an
Good job.
insult.
Nick, good job, Chris. Yeah. We will award each of you 1 point, and Amel has 0.
Yeah,
For the
it's
love of
okay
the
though.
game.
For the love of the
Yeah.
game, it's fine.
Well, yeah. For the love of not winning the game. All right, we now moved to round 2. Leaked meta documents reveal intent to, quote, consume the Fediverse with Threads Federation. Leaked meta documents reveal intent to, quote, consume the Fediverse with Threads Federation.
Metaverse.
The Fediverse.
What is the Fediverse?
Mastodon.
Is it like a? Is that a? Oh, okay. Huh. Oh, Threads. This. Oh my God.
You're
I
sitting
was
here
just. I
watching
was
Amel
thinking
slowly
about.
understand what's going on.
I was thinking about Threads. Like, I immediately thought about like concurrency and all of that stuff, and I was like, wait, what? And I was
Threads
like,
with a
wait, there.
capital T.
I was like, decentralization, or yeah, I was just, my brain was totally off.
So, do
Okay.
you know that Threads is going to allegedly federate with other ActivityPub providers at some
Oh, I
point?
believe that. Yeah. I
Okay.
I'm gonna say yeah. That's a true headline.
Chris, what do you think?
Um, I guess I'll go with true until I hear the paragraph.
Okay. And
Yeah.
Nick?
I'm also gonna go with true.
All right, we have 3 trues. The first paragraph of the story. TechCrunch has acquired emails between Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg and Threads project lead Adam Mosseri that detail a plan to overwhelm the federated social network with users, content, and, quote, a global search index. Any flip-floppers?
Yeah, I'll go false.
Chris has flip-flopped. The first flip-flop. Actually,
I don't
Mel
know.
flip-flopped
I'm
last round.
now just thinking. I don't know if they'd go for that. And it kind of goes against everything that it stand like. They stand like
Who-
Mastodon.
You don't know who would go for it.
The-
Meta?
I guess Adam. I don't even.
Right, Adam, the head of the
Yeah.
Threads project.
Yes.
Okay. Meaning that you don't think they're going to federate, or you don't think they have this intent to overwhelm?
I don't that they don't have the intent to like overwhelm and federate. I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna stick with my original
Okay.
answer. I'm just true.
All right, so we have true with Amel. Chris says it's false now. He was once on the true train. Now he's false. Nick, sticking or flipping?
So I don't know anything about this. I know that they intend to, and I think that they should, but I
Should
feel like
federate?
there's a problem with the paragraph. Like the paragraph that you said is a lie. Specifically, is Adam Mosseri the head of Threads, or is he the head of Instagram, or is there a difference? That's where I'm at right now. Like, are you
So
trying
you
to
need
get us
more
on a
information.
technicality?
I will tell you that I do know that Adam Mosseri is the head of Threads.
Okay,
He might also be the head of Instagram. I don't know their org structure at all.
got it. Okay,
Wait,
then I'm gonna stay with true.
Okay.
Jared, can you? What was the first one that we did? What was the first question?
The FCC
Yeah, what was it again?
agrees to.
What was
we
the
going
first
back to the
question?
last round?
No, I
Well,
just, I
The
just.
first one was FCC agrees with ISP's
Okay,
complaint that listing
okay,
every free
all right.
fee is too
All
hard.
right,
That
never
was
mind.
false.
Never mind.
I see somebody else also skipped breakfast.
All right,
kidding.
so Nick thinks this is true. Amel thinks this is true, and Chris thought it was true, but then he skipped it to false. Is this a headline or a head lie? Let's hear that sound. Oh man, I made it up. I made the whole thing up.
Seriously? Oh man.
Completely false.
I mean, I was kind of yeah. I
did-
thought so, but you know, I didn't. I was just too lazy to change my vote. To be
But I
honest.
did look up the head of Threads is Adam Mosseri because I wanted it to sound
Official.
like it was true, and so I gotcha.
No.
So Chris scores because he flip-flopped to false. Correct, Chris? Yes. And then the other two stayed true. So you both missed. So after 2 rounds, we have Chris in the lead with 2 correct answers. Nick has identified 1. Amel is
Yeah.
0 for
Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
We now move
Chris
to
is like
round
the
3.
master BS detector.
He is. Man. He's on top of it.
I'm just gonna.
That's
I'm
why
just
he
gonna.
likes. That's why he likes this game.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Headline number 3. Crime is so bad near San Francisco Federal Building. Employees are told to work from home, officials said.
True.
True.
A lot of confidence there. Nick's a true, Amel's a true. Chris, what'd you say?
True.
Oh, yeah. It was
True.
Chris and I that voted. I think.
Oh, I'm
Not-
sorry.
Yeah.
I'll,
Nick,
I'll
what do
also
you think?
say true.
Okay. For the love of the game. The paragraph is officials at the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services advised hundreds of employees in San Francisco to work remotely for the foreseeable future due to public safety concerns outside the Nancy Pelosi Federal Building on 7th Street. Everybody
True.
feel good about their answers or want to flip-flop?
No, I think that's very true. It was very scary being in SF. Yeah, like early spring this year. It was very scary being there. So yeah.
All right, let's find out. Is that a headline or a headline? That is true. So all 3 of you successfully identify that as true. Good job. All get a point for round 3. Round 4. Elon Musk says X will fund legal bills if users are treated unfairly by their bosses.
Oh wow, that's such an Elon Musk thing to do. I mean, it's so
He's the
ridiculous.
wild card. You never know what he's saying
You know,
or not. Yeah.
Yeah, because he's like free speech, but like, what if I get in trouble for being an asshole on the internet? Oh well, don't worry, we'll cover your legal bills. You know, like yeah. I'm gonna say true.
I'm also going to say true, but I think that while he said that, it's completely false.
Oh
Okay.
yeah. He doesn't actually mean it. He's not gonna follow through. Yeah.
Yeah,
Chris
true. Depending on if you made something up in the paragraph. So.
I want to know. You know what? I want to know. I want to know if a tweet can be legally binding. That's what I want to know. You know.
Not if you have opinions are your own in your bio.
Oh, that's
Oh, good
touche,
point.
Nick. Touche.
What do you say? Opinions are my employer.
Yeah.
It's a employers.
My employer made me say it. Okay, here's the paragraph. On Sunday, Mr. Musk told users that financial assistance from his platform would have, quote, no limits. He asked users to, quote, let us know
My God.
if they had experienced unfair treatment for posting or liking something.
Oh my God.
It's true.
Chris, it's true. Nick,
Wait, can you
Sticking with
can you
it?
say
I mean-
the title again?
Elon Musk says X will fund legal bills if users treated unfairly by bosses.
Okay, I'll keep it as true.
Amel?
Yeah, definitely true. I mean, it's so ridiculous. It has to be true. Like, that's how I feel.
So ridiculous it has to be true, but is it actually true? Did he actually say that, or did I make it up? Whole cloth. It is true. He said that.
I asked you
Couple
to repeat the
weeks
title
ago.
because I was curious if you said Twitter or X, and you were trying to get us on that.
Oh, I wouldn't be so malicious. You know I fully support X.com.
Is this where we start playing DMX? DMX.
That's what I was saying. Will you listen to our show a couple weeks back? DMX is rolling in his grave right now because he's getting all of his cool songs are getting steamrolled.
I never realized that what DMX was doing on so many songs was barking.
What do you think he was doing? Coughing or something up?
I had no idea that was a bark. I mean,
He was just trying to DM us.
I
on
don't.
X.
He's just like, ow, ow, ow. Anyways, I'm
Ooh, that would
sorry.
be a cool new feature of X if that was the DM sound. DM you on X.
No, there should be like ringtones for DMs. That's a feature. It's like, anywho.
Okay, headline number 5.
Oh,
so
wow, there's
far.
more.
You guys are. Oh man, we got 8 of these. Let's keep rolling.
God.
It's 3-4-2. Chris in the lead. Number 5. Douglas Crockford calls JavaScript.
JavaScript.
Let me say that again. Douglas Crockford calls JavaScript a smelly language.
Soundboard.
Says it's
Hey, JavaScript. Oh, JavaScript. I love me some
JavaScript. You
JavaScript.
JavaScript.
Yes,
Oh my
you
God.
silly wabbits.
Elmer Fudd says JavaScript smelly.
Oh.
Okay. We're gonna break the show.
Sorry.
Brownies for breakfast or what?
No comment. I'm on vacation. No comment. No comment. No comment.
All right. What do you guys think? He says it's a smelly language and he thinks it's time for TypeScript. I will go to Nick.
That's false.
Wait,
Really?
wait. Say it all again, please. The headline, because there was.
Chris is like the only serious player here.
Well, he's also leading. So he's got a lead to maintain.
He's like,
Douglas
I
Crockford
got stakes
calls
here.
JavaScript a smelly language. Says it's time for TypeScript.
No.
He might think that about JavaScript, but he never would recommend TypeScript.
Honestly, I mean, you know what? Is it? I mean, I'm gonna say something that is really really mean, but I'm sorry. Who is Douglas Crockford still relevant?
Crockford?
Whatever his name is, yeah. Parts. I used to think it was like just some book that I couldn't understand, but no, it turns out like literally almost everyone finds those marble diagrams confusing and hard to understand. So I have some built-up resentment there for just
What
making me
about
feel.
JSON? You like JSON?
No.
Oh my gosh.
No.
Okay.
I
let's
want
get to the
comments, and I
paragraph.
don't want trailing commas, or I want
Yeah.
trailing commas.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
JSON
Well,
2.0. Here's the paragraph. In an interview with Honeypot, JSON inventor Douglas Crockford calls for developers around the world to stop using JavaScript and start using its natural replacement, TypeScript.
False. While you should do that, it is false.
All right. Chris?
No, false.
Okay. Amel.
yeah, I think it's
These are
false.
Official
I think it's
answer.
false.
3 falses.
Yeah, for sure.
You guys just don't believe in the power of TypeScript.
No, I don't think
I
Douglas
do.
Crawford would
You
say
don't
that.
understand the power of the dark side. Yeah, you're right. He would never say that. He did say the first
he did
part. He would never say the second part. I just added that myself to make Nick mad.
Oh God.
Or
So were we wrong or right?
No, you're all correct. That
Okay.
the answer is false. No,
But it's
he-
partially true.
Right.
It
partially
seems.
true.
Oh.
Not, it's not the whole truth.
What was his sentence though? JavaScript is smelly, and then what?
He did call JavaScript smelly. He says it's time for us to move on. He didn't.
Maybe
name
it's
a
time for
language
him to move on. You know, it's like really we need a maybe you know what? Maybe Python needs a good parts book, and
That
you
would
know
be a good quote to come out of this episode. Amel Hussein calls Douglas Crockford a smelly person. Says
No.
it's time to move on.
I didn't say that. You said
Okay.
that, but I did partially.
That's a
And
headline.
it's partially
Okay.
true.
Let's move on to round 6. Everybody is now scoring every round, so the scores remain the same. Someone's gonna have to trick Chris in order for you guys to catch up. Number 6. Taylor Swift fans complain of post-concert amnesia.
What?
Taylor Swift fans complain of post-concert amnesia.
You know, I say true. I leave it to the Swifties to say some crazy shit like that. You know, my guess is they got really excited, and that excitement was created like some kind of a high in their body, and they were just paralyzed in the concert, and then they just didn't. Yeah, I think
They
that's.
forgot what happened.
They just forgot what happened. Yeah, they're just too like the excitement like overcame them.
Okay, so you're going true. Nick, you're head nodding. What do you think?
I'm gonna go false, and I'm curious what this has to do with JS Party, but Taylor Swift, TS TypeScript. Yeah, I got it. Okay.
I already
my
told you.
God.
These headlines are fun, and web development is also fun. So they're very related. Chris, we've got him on either side of the fence on this one.
Yeah, let's just say true.
All right, so we have true from Chris, true from Amel, false from Nick. The first paragraph is, some Taylor Swift fans are experiencing symptoms of post-concert amnesia as they cannot remember several moments from her Eras Tour shows that they attended.
Yeah,
Anybody changing their answer, or want to lock them in?
I'm
staying with true.
gonna Google post-concert amnesia to see the official
No
diagnosis.
Googling.
WebMD, the WebMD page. Did you go to a Taylor Swift concert? Are you between the ages of 11 and 14? You know. Oh gosh.
All right, everyone's sticking with theirs. So we got Chris and Amel are on true, and Nick's on false.
Mm-hmm.
All right, is that a true headline or a fake news? That one's true. So Nick falls behind Amel.
Yeah, I'm sad.
Right.
I'm sad that you fall behind Nick. But don't worry. Just copy
after-
Chris from now on.
After 6 rounds, Amel has 4, Nick has 4, and Chris has 6. So a commanding lead with only 2 rounds to go. You have to make up both these points here in order to catch him. Number 7. The NSA orders employees to spy on the world with dignity and respect. Number 7. The NSA orders employees to spy on the world with dignity and respect. Let's go to Chris. Your thoughts?
I'm gonna go false.
Okay. Nick?
False.
False? Amel?
I'm gonna say true until I hear the paragraph because I feel like that line that you just said it's kind of it's prime for like what do you call it? Clickbait, you know, where like like it seems like a clickbait title where it's true but it seems out of context. So
Jared couldn't say it without chuckling.
yeah.
Well, true or false? It's funny either way. So
Yeah.
let's hear the first paragraph. The National Security Agency, the shadowy hub for the United States' electronic and cyber spying, has instructed its employees that foreign targets of its intelligence gathering, quote, should be treated with dignity and respect, end quote, according to a new policy directive.
Yeah. As I said, I think it's taken out of context. I'm going to say true.
True.
Amel goes with true.
Yep.
I'm
Clickbait
gonna
title
distinguish myself and say false for the game.
Nick is distinguished.
for the game.
For the game.
For the love of the
And
game.
Chris previously said false, and he is what?
True.
Sticking or flipping?
I'm saying true.
He flip-flopped. He's going true.
Oh, I think Chris is just copying me.
He just knows as long as he ties you guys from here on out, he wins no matter what. So
But
he's
that's-
playing
yeah,
the game.
I can't
Oh,
because
that's
Nick.
oh, he's playing
If you
the
two
game.
pick the same one, then like whatever. But
Right,
you
true.
didn't.
Oh,
they didn't,
you
they're on
gotta
your side,
hedge
so.
the bets. Look at
Okay.
you.
Is this true or is this false? That one's true.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew it.
Well, thanks for playing.
And I
everybody.
don't believe it was taken out of context. I think that's exactly what they said.
Well, yeah. Well, no, but they omitted a part of the sentence, which is the like they basically skipped to the end, like that you should
Be treated with dignity and respect.
while spying on
That
people.
sounds
Yeah.
like a Register headline. Is that from the Register?
Yeah.
Uh, it's from The Intercept.
Okay.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah.
The
that was
Register
true.
headline.
All right, so Chris gets it, Amel gets it, Nick falls in the last. So
You should be very grateful, guys, because I just like stopped myself from like saying something that would have probably gotten this podcast like a rated R or something, you know.
well, thank you. We
But yeah,
appreciate it.
you're welcome. I was gonna make up this really funny Register headline about Elon Musk, but I'm not gonna do it because it's
Okay.
inappropriate. And
We'll
really,
leave
I should know
that as a-
better, you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Plus plus.
You show,
Get your plus plus.
save it for plus bonus.
No. Okay,
Keep it
fine.
private.
Fine,
Only
fine.
amongst us friends. Okay, we'll keep that for plus people. If you want to hear Amel's dirty Elon Musk fake headline, that's going to be rated R. Sign up for Changelog plus plus. Okay, last round. This is an anonymous listener. Oh shoot, I can't say that. I can't say a listener came up with this. We're gonna skip that one
Oh.
because I just gave it the answer.
Anonymous listener, but I mean, why does it?
All
What does it
listeners are
matter if
anonymous.
a listener's? The listener could be giving you false information.
Okay. This
But,
was
I mean,
submitted
maybe not.
by an anonymous listener. Citing Red Hat's open source restrictions, Microsoft commits to joining OpenELA with OpenSUSE and Oracle.
False.
I don't know what any of that means.
What is an ELA?
We can,
Yeah.
Electronic
OpenELA
licensing
is the-
Agreement?
Enterprise Linux
No.
Association.
Oh,
Open
okay,
Enterprise
okay.
Linux
I was like electronic licensing agreement. Okay. I don't know. I don't know about this one. I'll say true.
we have a false, a true,
False.
and a false.
Oh,
Here's
Chris.
the paragraph. Microsoft announced Wednesday that they will be joining the Open Enterprise Linux Association along with OpenSUSE and Oracle. A representative for Microsoft referred to their open source initiatives around .NET and Azure as, quote, a market leader in technology that helps enterprises thrive. Microsoft is committed to not standing in the way of innovation or security.
It's plausible.
Anybody convinced in the other direction? Plausible.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna change. I think I still think it's
He's going to
false.
stick with it. Amel?
Sorry, I was
What's
just
your stance? She's
um
on vacation, folks.
yeah, I'd say false. Oh no, wait.
False.
True. I said true already. I think it's
I'm
true.
just asking where your stance is right
Oh,
now. Okay, false, true, and
stance.
then
Oh,
Nick.
sorry.
What did I say before? False.
What did I say before? I don't remember. That's why I'm asking.
Oh God, I thought I was the only one on quote unquote vacation.
I'm going on vacation next week. I'm there.
Okay.
So, Chris says false. Amel says true. What are you gonna say, Nick?
I'm gonna say false.
False or true? That headline was made up by an anonymous listener.
Oh.
That's why I thought I ruined it by saying that, because I thought
Yeah.
for sure you guys would think they made it up.
Yeah, I mean, it does make sense. Like, I can't see, like, Microsoft, I mean, them, like, joining the Linux Foundation a few years ago. So I can't see them, like, then, like, further cozying up with, you know, bigwigs like Red Hat. So, I don't know.
It's
But-
like not. It's like in opposition to Red Hat.
It's in opposition
Correct,
to
yes,
that, yeah.
yes,
Which-
yes.
So they-
Yeah,
That's
that's why I
exactly
thought
it.
it might be plausible because,
I
like,
do think it's plausible.
right, Microsoft doesn't have any love for IBM.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you guys managed to escape. That is to say, Chris managed to escape as the victor.
Pew, pew, pew.
Nick, with that correct final answer, scoots his way back into second place. And
Ow,
Mel
ow,
ends
ow.
up then at the
I'm-
bottom of the barrel.
I'm the loser, baby. And then don't remember the rest of the lyrics,
Well,
but
that's good,
like
'cause it gets quite
gets
a bit
really-
more what's the
Okay.
word? Morbid from
morbid. Okay.
there. And thus ends America's favorite JS Party podcast game. I'm sorry, Chris's favorite JS Party podcast game show.
Yeah,
Headlights.
yeah, I love playing head lice.
You're good at it, man. I think. Did you get them all right? Did you get a single
Yes.
one wrong? You're 8 for 8.
Yeah. So here's the thing, and this is going to be some constructive criticism, some
Oh.
feedback. This is a gift
interested.
from me to you. The ones that are false should be like completely made up. Because
Well,
if
they
we
are.
have seen because you take like part of the headlines and you change it, but if we've seen those, it's going to be easy to know which one is which. And so apparently I read way too much tech news.
Right.
And so I see that. Now, if you had made up stuff like completely out of the blue, I would have no idea.
Well, I did.
But you didn't, because you took
Yeah, so-
existing headlines and just kind of changed them to make
The
them
leaked
false.
meta documents reveal intent to consume the Fediverse. That's completely made up. I just completely made it up out of whole cloth.
Okay. Well,
But the one that I did change was the Douglas Crockford one, where it says TypeScript at the end. So I
Wait, is
changed
this
that
the
one.
after show where we like argue
and the
about
FCC one you changed
stuff?
as well.
I like
But
missed
just,
the
I'm
memo.
just saying that. I'm just saying that those
Oh,
are
the
easier.
FCC one. I changed the FCC one. Yes.
Yeah, I'm
You
just
got the
saying those
Taylor
are
Swift
easier.
one right, Chris. Where do you get your Taylor Swift news?
I have an 11-year-old daughter.
Valid.
Did you hear about that? Did you hear about that amnesia thing? Or did you just know? Because I knew it was true based on just how Swifties are. They're just like,
Just.
I
based
feel
on-
like I was
Yeah.
like on like a
oh,
I
a
don't
little
know,
extra.
some sort of article, and then like you scroll to the bottom, and then you see the more junk that we want.
Yeah,
to
you
click
see
on.
the
I
the
think I
native
might have seen
advertising.
it
I
in
think
there.
that's what it's
Yes,
called.
Native
Yes.
advertising.
Well, there was another
Mhm.
Taylor Swift one that I thought about covering, where it was that in Seattle, the tour, the number of people at the tour actually caused a mini earthquake. Did you guys see that one?
My God, I did hear about that. Like the
Yeah.
foot stomping in the stadium caused
Yes,
like
the
some
foot
reaction.
stomping caused an earthquake.
That's so wild. I didn't even know humans could do that. Like that's crazy. That's
we
wild.
if we put our heads together, we put our feet together.
Apparently,
you know,
yeah, we can do anything.
We can make we can move the earth. We can make the world change.
Oh my God, I saw Beyonce live a few weeks ago, and that's how I felt after leaving that concert. I was like, wow, when humans are collectively organized and put their energy towards something, this is the greatness that they can create. Like I left that show very inspired about like what humans can do once we're focused and we all get along, you know.
Right.
So yeah.
But
Well,
Anyways.
Chris, your feedback is well taken. I think that to respond, it is much more difficult to come up with them out of the blue
Yeah.
than it is to take something that's partially ridiculous and change it to be
Right.
false.
Yeah,
So
that
that's
meta
why I have a
one was
mixture.
hard because like I didn't. It was just like I
Right.
had no frame of I said
Good
again.
feedback. You know, if I'm going to stump you in the future, I'm going to have to work a lot harder. That's what you're saying. And I'm willing to put the work in. So we will come back for another round of headlines soon. But you do get the final word. That's what you've won today. You can say the last thing on the podcast before we say goodbye. So here you are, Chris. Here's your moment. You've won headlines. You're the champ. One thing to say to the JS Party audience before we call it a show.
I don't want to say anything.
All right, that is JS Party for this week. I'm Jared with Nick and Amel and Chris, who doesn't want to say anything. So, of course, we're going to honor that request. We'll talk to you on the next one. All right, now we're at the post show.
I like
Although
that
maybe
outro music.
You.
Seems
It
like
is
it's
good.
newer, yeah.
Had that
It is good. I
forever.
agree.
Is that the same person who does all our music? DJ?
Yeah.
Whatnot?
Breakmaster Cylinder.
Oh yeah. So you guys want to hear the register headline? Although I have to say it is I think it is inappropriate.
Well, if it's too inappropriate, then I don't want to hear it. So, what kind of disclaimer is this? Is it a real disclaimer, or
Well,
say it anyway?
I don't know. No, I'm going to say it, but if it's
Okay,
too
you say it, and I'll
inappropriate,
tell
we'll
you-
come up with another one. So I'm
If you
probably
s- you say it,
conditional.
I'll tell you whether or not you should have said it.
Do you want to come off YouTube before we?
Do we want to get off YouTube? Let's do that.
I think
Sorry,
so.
kids. Yes.
Especially before Nick starts singing a copyrighted song and gets us DMCA takedown again. All right.
Oh, is
Sorry,
Nick going to sing a
YouTube,
song?
This is not safe for YouTube.
Yes.